Those who should go back, asylum seekers who are not going to ultimately get asylum, that we return them, track them and return them. Reduce the flow of new temporary Canadians, be a temporary residents in Canada. And we're doing all of those things in about 2-3 weeks' time. We'll be releasing our immigration plan, our next immigration levels plan, and that will include many of the steps that we'll be taking around these issues.
Hello guys, Nardino TV here and we are back with another video. So it seems like hindi pa tapos talaga si Canada, no, sa mga pagbabago na nangyayari or sa mga pagbabago na gagawin niya when it comes to immigration system dito sa Canada. So recently lang guys, mayroong interview si Prime Minister Carney, no, sa isang radio station dito sa Canada at yan ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon or yan ang pagkukwentuhan natin for today. Actually, hindi lang sa immigration yung topic nung interview. Pero syempre tayo, we are focusing more on the immigration system or kung ano yung mga pagbabago na mangyayari when it comes dun sa mga pumapasok dito sa Canada. So, based on the video guys, merong dalawang question dun, no, na very related or particular doon sa immigration system dito sa Canada. So yung first question naman doon is that dahil daw, no, sa failure ng immigration system ng Canada, hindi daw masyadong na-screen yung mga pumasok dito, at dahil doon naka-apekto daw yon sa mga crimes na nangyayari dito sa Canada or yung crime rate na tumataas dito sa Canada. So yan yung unang question sa kanya. Ano daw yung mga gagawin ni Carney or ng government ng Canada para doon? At yung pangalawang question naman niya guys is very specific guys doon sa impact, no? Dahil nga sa mga pagbabago sa immigration system ng Canada, maraming magiging out of status, mawawala ng status dito sa Canada or hindi magiging permanent dito. So dahil doon, baka mapush sila to do crimes.
Minister, you said something similar in your yesterday's statement about combating crime.
Yes.
You said we cannot control what's happening beyond our borders, but we decide what happens here. And people in our community say that many individuals who are part of big extortion network, they entered our country through different visa programs. And it was a failure of our immigration system, not of our police system. So what steps your government can take to fix these gaps in our system?
Okay. Well, first is to recognize the scale of the problem and take action on many levels. And so let me speak about what the federal government can do. Of course, it's where we are today. It's the Peel Police, it's the Toronto Police. Of course, the police forces, I know you reach across the country, so local police forces across the country and provincial police forces doing their job and enforcing the laws. But what can the federal government do? And let's start with the extortion. Let's start with immigration, and then let me make a few more points. First, on extortion, it's to go right to the heart of some of the worst perpetrators of this, the terrorist organizations such as the Bishnoi Gang. We've now listed the Bishnoi Gang as a terrorist organization that brings more powers and more action against them. Secondly, with respect to immigration, without question, there's been a need to tighten immigration on multiple levels. And let me just give you some facts. What's happened since I've become Prime Minister over the course of the last 6 months. We have seen the level of asylum claims go down by 1/3. The number of foreign students go down by 2/3. The overall levels of temporary foreign workers go down by more than 70%. So all of the incoming levels have gone down quite sharply.
So gusto ko yung sagot ni Carney doon, no, guys. Yung answer niya doon sa first question, dinivide niya into two, no? So yung sa extortion at saka doon sa immigrants or yung sa number ng mga immigrants na pumapasok dito. Sa extortion daw, yung sa mga fraud, yung sa mga ganyan. So pagtutuunan nila yan ng pansin and they will dig deeper, investigate yung mga gumagawa niyan at talagang gagawa sila ng paraan para matigil yan at talagang ma-pinpoint yung mga masterminds, no, doon sa mga fraud na yan or yung sa mga extortion na mga nangyayari. Shinare din niya guys yung mga numbers or yung sa mga changes, no, and unfortunately guys, pababa, no, yung sa mga immigration pathway. Shinare ni Carney yung mga numbers, and kung titignan natin yung trend, lahat ng numbers pababa when it comes to asylum, international students, at saka guys yung mga temporary foreign workers. So based na rin kay Carney yung trend nung mga nabibigyan or napapapasok dito sa Canada is pababa simula nung siya na yung umupo.
MP said this in Parliament that millions of people would be out of status in coming few years, and those people would be in very vulnerable situation and could easily be pushed towards crime. So what your government is doing for preparing to deal with this challenge before it becomes a crisis?
But as you were just saying, but there are people here, and some of them are immigrants, new temporary Canadians, but many of them are Canadians. We shouldn't make the distinction. It's whoever commits the crime. What is the penalty for that crime? And what can the federal government do about that? And so part of what I announced yesterday is that we will be tabling legislation next week in the House of Commons that will do several things. It will make bail much harder to get for these violent crimes: home invasion, extortion, auto theft with violence, any crime that's committed with an element of a gang-related crime, or using a firearm. Bail becomes, you have to prove why you should get bail, as opposed to the current system, which presumes you will get bail, and then the Crown, the government, has to prove the opposite. So that's one aspect of big changes we're proposing to make. And the other aspect is to make sentencing much tougher. And then the third aspect of what the federal government can do, and is doing, is to have much more federal police. So we're announced yesterday 1,000 more RCMP officers to work on many of these issues: the gang-related issues, the terrorist-related issues, foreign interference in our country, and then working with provincial and local police. And this morning I announced 1,000 more border security agents. So because we also have to tighten at our southern border, because that's where a lot of the guns and the drugs come through, and also some individuals. So we're reinforcing on all aspects policing, we're reinforcing the laws, we're tightening the immigration system, and we're working with our provincial counterparts.
Yung sasagot naman niya about daw dun sa mga possible crimes na mangyari dahil dun sa mga na out of status, no? Dahil ikaw nga ay wala ka ng visa dito, baka maraming ma-push to do crimes like fraud or sumali sa mga gangs or yung something like that, no? And ang focus niya is doon sa penalty. Kasi guys, dito doon sa nakaraang administration, guys, no? Yan na yung talagang sinisigaw din ng mga tao dito, or isa sa mga reklamo na bakit pag merong nakukulong ang daling mag-bail, ang daling makalabas, and then ang result, umuulit lang ulit sila doon sa mga ginagawa nilang crime dito sa Canada. So, ang sabi dito ni Carney, i-check nila kung ano yung mga possible na changes na pwede nilang gawin when it comes to penalty. So they are targeting to put high penalties, high bail, at saka high sentence doon sa mga crimes na i-identify nila in the upcoming weeks or months, no? And then sinabi rin niya na magde-deploy sila ng mas marami pang mga police, no? So I kinda like that one kasi ang sabi nga ni Carney, bakit tayo magpapagod doon sa something na hindi naman natin control, 'di ba? So nagfo-focus siya, guys, doon sa mga bagay na in control siya, which is yung mga services na pwede niyang ibigay sa mga tao dito sa Canada, like yung mga pabahay, yung hospital, security, di ba?
Well, I think, yes. So let's take a step back on the immigration system, and I'll give some perspective, if I may, which is if we go back 6-7 years, the number of what are called non-permanent residents, so temporary foreign workers, students, asylum seekers, other people who've come to Canada and haven't yet become citizens. You know, most people in Canada at one point, either themselves or their parents or grandparents, were immigrants to this country at one time. But these are people who haven't yet become citizens. That used to be about 3% of the population. Just before I became Prime Minister, it had gone up to 7.5% of our population. So a big increase. And so that's what this MP, I don't remember who said it, but was referring to. And so our challenge is to, and this is what we're doing, is to make sure that we rapidly build up our ability for those who are here, who are working, who are building a life, to do that. Those who should go back, asylum seekers who are not going to ultimately get asylum, that we return them, track them and return them. That we reduce the flow of new temporary Canadians, be a temporary residents in Canada, and I just gave you the figures on that, so we can manage down the overall level in a responsible way. And we're doing all of those things in about 2-3 weeks' time. We'll be releasing our immigration plan, our next immigration levels plan, and that will include many of the steps that we'll be taking around these issues.
Last note guys, siguro ang magiging comment ko lang dito doon sa mga sinabi ni Mark Carney is let's see, no? Kasi syempre hangga't hindi natin nakikita at hindi natin nararamdaman yung mga changes na sinabi niya, puro laway lang yan, di ba? So sinabi naman niya in the next 2 to 3 weeks, magre-release sila ng mga changes doon sa mga sinabi niya, di ba? And ako, nagustuhan ko guys yung sinabi niya na kaya naghihigpit si Canada, no, doon sa mga pinapapasok. Hindi lang dahil gusto nilang maghigpit, may mga reason at ang isang reason na sinabi niya doon is marami na dito na temporary workers or mga hindi pa PR or mga hindi pa citizen. So, gusto niyang higpitan muna yung flow ng immigrants na pumapasok dito sa Canada para makapag-focus sila guys dun sa mga tao na nandito na sa Canada, no? And it makes sense, 'di ba? So bakit ka kung ikaw is nasa isa kang business na nagbibigay ng service, no? So bago ka tumanggap ng bagong kliyente, tapusin mo muna yung mga clients na meron ka. So yun yung nakikita ko na sinasabi ni Carney na magbibigay muna siya ng focus or yung government niya doon sa mga tao na nandito na sa Canada. So para sa akin, no, kung makapasok ka ngayon dito sa Canada with all of these changes, yung sa mga paghihigpit ng Canada, ang ibig lang sabihin guys, yung skill set na meron ka is really important at kailangan ni Canada. Kasi kung mapapansin nyo guys dun sa mga immigration pathway ni Canada ngayon, very specific, no? Very specific dun sa mga pangangailangan ng Canada ngayon, no? So, madali bang makapasok ngayon? Hindi, no? Imposible bang makapasok? Hindi rin, no? There is a possibility na makapasok ka pa rin dito sa Canada. Pero ang sinasabi nga natin, with all of those changes na nangyayari, no, at makapasok ka pa rin, makikita mo na may edge ka, no? May edge in terms of your skill set, no? In terms of the skill set of your family, kaya ka nakapasok dito sa Canada. Okay? So, sa ngayon, ang pwede lang natin gawin is maghintay. I-check natin in the upcoming weeks or months kung ano yung mga mangyayari dito sa Buhay Canada. Pero kung ikaw ay hindi ka pa permanent dito sa Canada, I suggest guys, find ways. Talagang mag-research ka, maghanap ka ng mga possible pathway na pwede mong pasukin hanggang ikaw ay maging permanent resident dito. Kasi sabi nga natin, hindi natin alam kung kailan, no, talagang magsasara ang pinto ng Canada. So hanggang ngayon, kung ikaw ay nandito ka sa Canada pero hindi ka pa permanent, may chance ka pa. Okay? So yun lang guys. Thank you for watching and see you on my next video. Peace!